Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. First home game. I'm talking about Rattlers. Let's go get it.
What's up, family? Welcome to another episode of the ONG Strike Zone. Bryan Fulford, Kelvin Rozier, Big Hat Man. We are ready to go. Ready to go for another outstanding Wednesday night show as we get fired up and get ready for a big weekend in Tallahassee. Volleyball's in town, playing a pair of games. Football team, home opener against Albany State on Saturday. Golf teams out there playing well. So, I mean, we got a lot to talk about, man. Lots of positive news, lots of fun news to talk about. Trying to get all the retweets out there to everybody who's watching us, wherever you're watching us. We say hello to the people watching on the Jericho Broadcast Network's Black College Sports Network YouTube page, our ONG Strike Zone YouTube page, Facebook, Black College Sports Network, ONG Strike Zone, as well as those watching on Twitter and Instagram Live. Thank you for coming in, locking in with us tonight. ONG Strike Zone. Soon to be, I guess we'll have Marcus Green at some point joining the show. So we got a loaded guest lineup.
Yeah, he's on his way.
He's on his way. All right.
He's talking about he might be a couple of minutes late. Might.
All right. Hit the thumbs up and the like button. Get in early wherever you are, and however you follow the show, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. You know, because you want to get the notifications wherever you're watching. So, Kelvin, what's good, man? What's new? What's up with you?
Man, I feel like a movie star. Because I'm the man sitting next to the man, sitting next to the goddamn man. Congratulations, my brother. The new play-by-play voice of the Rattler Sports Network for football, man. Well-deserved, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, there it is. I was hesitant on if I was going to do it, but I gotta appreciate send it out. Appreciate Vaughn Wilson and the Eddie Jackson 220 Quarterback Club and the Rattler Sports Network. So yeah, your boy's gonna get an opportunity to sit next to a legend. I got mad respect every time I see, and I'm so used to calling him Mr. Chester. I don't know how to make that work. I'm still working on how to, because he's always Mr. Chester to me. I don't feel comfortable just calling him Al or Albert. I just, it's Mr. Chester. So I don't know how I gotta work that out. I gotta figure out. But it's gonna be. I'm very honored, humbled, blessed, excited to have a chance to sit next to a legend and talk about Rattler football for 3.5 hours. Or hopefully less, hopefully not longer, and share with Rattler Nation the game that's going on. I'm really excited about that. Let me bring in Marcus Green because Marcus is in. Hold on, let me switch the banner since we got Marcus. Marcus, how you doing, man? What's good, brother?
Oh, good. Congratulations. Still trying to work on some things here, but everything's going good.
It's all good, man.
Brian,
it's all good. Yeah.
Inquirer minds want to know. The people want to know. I'm speaking for the people.
Mm-hmm.
What year was that picture?
That was last year. That was last year. the beginning of the school year last year. You know,
Okay, all right. I'm gonna let you get away with that one.
Hold on. Now,
I'm not gonna call. I'm not gonna call you a liar. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh no! I got verifiable proof because my coach was there. You know what my coach gives me crap about? He gives me crap about the fact that I'm wearing a sport coat. Do you notice that, right?
Yeah.
In all of my other school photos, I'm never wearing a sport coat. I'm always wearing a polo. And I wore the coat because, you know, as my first year teaching AP, you know, I'm teaching high school, you know, man, I was really excited to get the call up to the majors. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, but he gives me crap. He's always like, "Oh, you Professor Fulford this year, huh? No longer just Coach Fulford or Mr. You Professor Fulford." I said, man, stop it.
Hey, y'all don't believe him. That was Bryan when he was a freshman in high school.
Man, look.
Hey, the other question. Where your earring?
Make me show that picture. Huh?
Where your earring at?
I don't wear the earrings to school. You know, look, we done relaxed a lot of things at school, but when they start letting the boys wear earrings, then I will put my earrings in on the school day. But I try to set a positive example.
Look at you. I'm so proud.
Stop.
Hey, we famous now. We famous. We done made it, mama. I call my mama.
Stop it. Too much. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I appreciate it. I see all you guys in the chats. Thank you for the you know, congratulations, well wishes. Really excited about the opportunity. I will say what's fat. You know, I remember sitting in my dorms, you know, in the fall when FAMU would go on the road, right, and listen to FAMU football games on the radio. You know, Keith Miles would call those games, you know, and they would go to Southern and they would go up to Howard and they go to all these places. And I always grew up a fan of radio. So, you know, I always enjoyed listening to the call, you know, from Keith Miles. And, you know, I always sat in the room thinking, man, how great would it be if one day, you know, I ever got an opportunity to call a FAMU football game, you know, for the Rattler Sports Network. You know what I'm saying? And I got a chance to work with Dexter Martin when he was, you know, running the Rattler Sports Network and putting it all over the state. And so, yeah, I'm excited about the opportunity to kind of, you know, be that kid again who used to sit in the dorms and listen to games. And hopefully, you know, somebody will enjoy the broadcast while they're sitting in their dorm room. And maybe one day that young man or woman might be inspired him or herself to want to get into sports broadcasting. So there it is, full circle moment.
So we got Rattlers taking over the play-by-play all over.
Hey,
well, I mean, you know.
And make sure that you're giving the score and how much time is on the clock, please.
Yes. That is excuse me. That is one of the things of radio. Now, I will admit, I even most recently, just 2 weeks ago, I did the audio broadcast of, you know, you were there with me when we did the Orange Blossom Classic. And that's the one thing that I had to kind of quickly remember, because I'm so used to doing TV where there is usually a clock and a score graphic and people can see it. And so, yes, you have to, when you do radio, you do have to remember it's an audio. So it's an audio medium. So you do have to reset that clock, and you have to reset a lot of things and give people that imagination of and the direction, you know, the good old the old pros I used to listen to, going left or right on your radio dial, you know, that kind of thing. You know, I don't know. You know, I don't know if people listen on their radio dial, but people can imagine sitting wherever they're sitting and watching the action going left to right, right? Because that's how we watch a football game, going left to right. So that whole thing, you know, that's sort of broadcast 101 stuff that the guys I used to grew up listening to, that's the stuff they did. So, you know, I haven't figured out how to do the whole, you know, Brent Musburger was one of my things. I grew up the "You Are Looking Live," that thing he used to say. I don't know how to make that work on radio. You are listening live. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, but I will figure it out. Who knows? I won't try to get too fancy in game one. Keep it simple. Keep it simple and like I said, try to get out the way, man. I got Albert Chester Senior, the legend. I'm there to call the plays and set him up. That's the way I look at it. So we'll see. There you go. All right. Well, coming up on tonight's show, full show tonight, as we've got a loaded guest lineup, which is in part of the reason why we kind of pivoted to doing our Monday review show. So coming up on tonight's show, full group. We got Marvin Green joining us, coming up at the bottom of the hour. Marvin serves as the major gift officer for athletics and the Marching 100. He's also I believe the executive director is the title for the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame. So we get a chance to talk to him about two different unique things going on. Then at the top of hour 2, our softball coach Brittany Beall, comes back to the show. We love Coach Beall, and fall ball is not too far away. They just released the softball schedule. We'll talk a lot. Softball's doing a lot of big things. Yeah. They got the merch store. They got, the schedules coming out, and they, fundraising. Camps. Don't let me forget that. Camps. Yeah. Coach Beall, she's everywhere. She's getting it done, putting the program, taking it to the next level, and so we love that. And then at the bottom of hour 2, our good friend of the show, although I think this is her debut appearance, but she is a friend of the program. She's a friend of yours, friend of mine, Coach Darlene Moore, Dr. Darlene Moore. I don't know. We'll go with Dr. Coach Darlene Moore. I think maybe that's the official run of the titles. But she will be joining us as Coach is, I believe she's the senior women's administrator, Texas Wesleyan, I believe it is.
No, Kentucky.
Nope. Kentucky Wesleyan. Yeah. Okay. Kentucky Wesleyan. Thank you. But of course, she won quite a few championships leading our track and field programs when we were in the MEAC. And then, of course, she did some administrative work over at Albany State.
Her alma mater.
Yeah, I was gonna say her alma mater. So
was a big reason Quinn is at Albany.
Yeah. So we'll get a chance to talk with her. Be excited to bring her on the show for one of many reasons. So yeah, looking forward to this show tonight.
Let me just add real quick. I got the big hat on. I got the orange one I'm wearing to the game on Saturday. But I got the big hat on because this hat came from Albany. Shout out to Sam Gilbert, who is in the Albany area. And he provided these. And so I want to get the week started off right early with putting that good juju on them Golden Rams. And getting all the Rattlers fired up because we finna cook, baby, and brag.
Exactly. It is the home opener, so we need a great crowd to kick off the season. So we need and want a great crowd. Marcus, you didn't get a chance to catch us on the review, but I thought I'd give you maybe a minute or two before we get into doing some shout outs and just get your thoughts, maybe, anything that you wanted to put on wax that, obviously maybe something that we didn't touch on or something that you spotlighted and that you're looking at as we head into this weekend.
Oh, I did get a chance to watch it. So I watched the review and pretty much everything's on point. And I know even in the live chat, me and Kelvin were saying what's up with the special teams and the formation for the punt. So that's been like, I don't know, I guess week to week we have something that's catching our eye. So yeah, that and yeah, FAU, and kind of like I suspected last week, they wanted to come out and prove a point, to the extreme that they're going for 2-point conversions on the first touchdown. So that didn't sit too well with me, but you got to stop them if you don't want them to score. But other than that, I mean, the team showed they didn't quit. I'll say that, because it was looking kind of dismal at halftime, and they kept playing out there. And we did have a Jet Petty sighting. I don't know to what degree, how much, of an opportunity he got. He got 2 series, and I don't know if that's enough to either start people chattering or, just if it was more token. But other than that, it kind of went the way we kind of suspected. Hoped it wouldn't be that bad. And yeah, I agree with you, Bryan. I thought that was a shady touchdown. He got fumbles at 3, rolls in, and even though I when I sent it, or my roll up of plays, of explosive plays, I did include it because they called it a touchdown. But other than that, we did have some explosive plays. Granted, it was after the score was already out of hand. So, but at least we showed a little resilience there, whether it was blown coverage, good call, combination. At least we scored some points, got a touchdown.
Good stuff. Well, a little bit later, after we get through the interviews, we'll kind of, I'm sure we'll get into doing our predictions, our score predictions. I've seen some crazy stuff this week. One of the guys who does the show, he's actually in our Pick 5 contest. I think it's Kelly Flicks. There's a site out there called Reddit FCS, and they put lines out. Now, I don't know, if that is computer generated or, somebody's playing into the whole betting lines thing, but I guess they published something saying that Albany State, right, was a 6.5-point favorite on the road coming to Tallahassee. And look, I don't even think if it were Valley, they would not have a Division II. No sports book would put a Division II team as a 6-point favorite over an FCS school. And so
the only caveat I would think would be if it were Valdosta State or whoever won, playing someone. But yeah, it is kind of, I don't know if that's motivation. It shouldn't have to be motivation, but that in and of itself. And I don't understand all that betting stuff with the minus and plus. And I know you guys explained it to me like 2 years ago, but I didn't. I'm not really into betting, but I don't know what all that means.
Yeah, minus basically means that team is the favorite, and the plus means you're the underdog, and the half units are basically to say that there's no tie. So basically, if you see that 6.5, that means you're expecting them to win by 7 or more points, and the other side of that is not getting beat by 7 or more points. You know what I'm saying? So that means if you lost by 6, you cover the 6.5. Okay. Usually that's what most markets do to keep from having a tie, because ties are real, and we look in the industry, or when you play, you'll take a tie sometimes to avoid a loss, because a tie means you get your money back, a push. So so only thing better than winning is a push, because that means you hadn't lost. So so that, but there's no way in God's green earth, no matter, I don't care that Albany State is averaging 50 points a game, and we're averaging 11.5. There's no book in God's green earth will have FAMU as a home dog of 6.5 points.
Hey,
Okay.
if you do find that somewhere, let me know, please, because I'll
Thank
make
you.
my first
Yes,
bet.
I will put a rent check on that because that's ridiculous. So yes, that's how serious that is, Marcus. So if you find it, somebody let me know. But anyway, a lot of talk. We'll get into talking about score predictions and all that stuff a little bit later in the show. If you've got questions for our guest, I saw Larry in the chat room, Larry. So if you've got questions, you can post them, send them, put them in the chat. I'll store them. And then, if we've got time as we talk to our guests, whether it be Marvin or Coach Beall or Coach Moore, we'll make sure to ask. You can always send an email to ongstrikezone@gmail.com. I got my phone here, and so I can always go and check the email as well. So you got a couple different ways that you can drop that. All right. We got at least about 2 or 3 minutes. So let me see if I can quickly run through the roll call and say hello to everybody who jumped in the chats. So we'll try to be quick here. So these will be quick. If we don't get to everybody, apologies for being long-winded, but you're used to that. You watched the ONG Strike Zone. Shout out to Bull. First one in the chats. Talking about the punt team coverage. Look like we'll see a new formation this week. Positive change. There we go.
Absolutely.
Ken Rozier, what up, Ken? Good to see you.
What up, Ken, Alex?
Thank you for checking in. Melissa Wilson, checking in. Amen.
Hey, Melissa.
All right. Yep. Kelvin checking in. Jimmy Mack checking in. Good to see you, Jimmy Mack. Thank you for coming in. Hey, we already got you, Ken. There's Meredith.
What's up, Meredith?
Thank you for being a JBN subscriber. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you for checking in, being a JBN subscriber as well. Makiba West, good to see you, family.
What's up? B Starks
in the house. Thank you for being a JBN subscriber. Ashton, what up, fam? Good to see you. Yeah. Mary 305 checking in.
What's up? Hey, Auntie.
Checking in. Tamara T, another JBN subscriber. Thank you, Tamara. Good to see you. My dog Tony checking in. Good to see you, Tony. Checking in. Let's see. Oh, testing. Somebody's testing. Okay.
What's up, testing? What's up, Stella?
All right. Hey, all right. Reggie Delane. Did I tell you I met Reggie Delane on very cool. Pleasure to meet you, Reggie. Look forward to meeting you more. Thank you for watching the show. Appreciate you. Watch JDTV. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Appreciate you, Tamara. Thank you. Gail. Good to see you, Gail. Thank you for checking in.
What's up, Gail?
Yeah, exactly. Appreciate you. I like it that way, Gail. I like to stay busy. Thank you. Jimmy, Demetra, thank you for checking in.
Dog.
Let's see. I'll just say Adrian. What?
Don't skip nobody now.
Look, I'm gonna skip people. I got the button. I can skip people if I want. I can say hello to you and skip you.
You can't skip the high.
Huh? I didn't. Who did I skip? Did I skip anybody? The high?
Yeah, you ain't skipping yet.
Who?
But I wanted you to put his message on there too.
Who? Let me see. Let me know when I see it. Oh, I saw you.
Oh yeah.
What up, Adrian? What up, Theron? Appreciate you guys for coming in. Keith checking in. Good to see you, Keith.
What's up, cuz?
Appreciate you always. Ezekiel Love checking in. Good to see you.
What's up, Zeke?
Let's see. Who else do I got here? Let's see. A couple Tiger fans checking in. Well, we always y'all checking in early, trying to see what we all about, huh? Okay.
Welcome.
Jeffrey Carroll, Southbound 3000. A couple of Jackson State supporters always coming in. Troy White. All right. Thank you, Troy. Checking in.
Fat mouth.
Appreciate you. Oh man. I wonder if Troy would put an eyebrow bet on that 6.5 points.
He ain't scared. He ain't scared.
No, he ain't scared. But that sounds like an eyebrow bet right there. 6.5 points. I'd love to see that. That's worth an eyebrow bet. No doubt. Amy Elizabeth Sports. It is a big cap, no doubt. Well, he had it on earlier when the shot.
What's up, Amy?
Strikeadocious checking in. Good to see you. Sam. Good to see you, Sam.
My guy.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you all. Appreciate you. Orange helmets down. All right. So I've seen that request by more than a few people. So yeah, we'll maybe have to see if I can you have to school me. Maybe drop that in the comments if there's any old phrases or catchphrases that you grew up on or you heard, maybe haven't heard in a while that you would love to hear again. Drop those in the comments, and maybe we'll see how I can work those in. Appreciate you, Brandon, for checking in as always. VM Matt, thank you for checking in. EA, what are you talking about, EA?
Nah.
Yeah, appreciate you, EA. Ron Jab, what up, Ron?
What's up, Jab?
Thank you, EA. Somebody's hacked EA's account. Is that what happened? Somebody hacked EA's account. Unbelievable. What up, Liv? How you doing, Liv? Good to see you, Liv. Little baby. Good to see you, little baby.
Hey, big little baby.
Rattlers in Arms checking in. Thank you via Facebook.
On deck.
Alice McCullough, Palm Beach, checking in. Good to see you. Lennon Blow checking in. Mr. Campbell, Steve checking in.
What's up,
Appreciate
Steve?
you. Yes, indeed. Shout out to Kofi. Definitely. The true voice. I'm just a guy on the mic trying to keep the
mic.
Road Dog checking in.
What's up, Road Dog?
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, that was a thing about Brent. I didn't know it at the time, Road Dog. Not until I understood what Brent was doing did I understand. If you know, you know. Chuck Hunt. What up, Chuck?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
And yes, a reminder, Larry, we are taking questions. So if you got questions, go ahead and get those questions in. There we go. One last shot. See, I had to get Gerald in because Gerald wants to take shots. You want to get shots in at you, Marcus. So
I saw that earlier.
Since y'all made me throw EA's comments up there, I had to go ahead and get you, Marcus. I had to get you. All right. I can't go through any more shout outs. I'm gonna go back through the chats and kind of see what else is out there. But we got to take our first break because our guest is waiting. First guest for tonight is going to be Marvin Green. So we look forward to talking to him in just a moment. Drop any questions that you have in the chats, and we'll talk to Mr. Green, Brother Green, here on the other side. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
Get ready for the inaugural Unity Classic, Saturday, September 13th at Nathaniel Glover Community Field and Stadium. It's a clash of the Virginia Union Panthers of the CIAA and the Edward Waters Tigers of the SIAC. Plus, an HBCU band battle between the Edward Waters Triple Threat Marching Band and the Virginia Union Ambassadors of Sound. The inaugural Unity Classic goes down in due fall.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
ESPN Events presents Red Lobster Band of the Year, a title reserved for elite HBCU marching bands. A season-long competition that culminates in Atlanta on Friday, December 12th. Drum majors, percussion, drill, auxiliaries, musicality. All aspects will be examined by the toughest judges in the world of college bands. 4 will qualify for the big stage, where national champions will be crowned. Follow us on social media for rankings updates throughout the season. And join us in Atlanta on December 12th. For event and ticket information, visit bandoftheyear.com.
All right, welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus, and it's a pleasure to be joined once again by Marvin Green Jr., the chair of the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame. As well, Marvin, you're wearing a couple of hats this go around. You're also the major gift officer for athletics and the Marching 100. Welcome back to the ONG. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Yeah, you know, when you been at FAMU 30-something years, you got to wear a lot of hats, right? So some of them pay, some of them don't. So the major gift officer pays, and the Hall of Fame is really just a labor of love to make sure that I can do my part to just give back to a place that has given me so much and recognize the legends that have come before me. So the Hall of Fame just allows me to be able to really just be in that humble space and be able to recognize people who've given so much to the FAMU athletic program. So I'm excited about that.
All right. I've got the link that you sent, so I'm going to put the link. Let me make sure to read the release right. The Florida A&M University Sports Hall of Fame will hold its annual enshrinement ceremony on Friday, September 26th at 7 p.m. I believe that's the Alabama State football game weekend, correct?
You're exactly right. In Gaither Gym.
All right. So in Gaither Gym, the 2025 class comprised of 15 persons, 8 female student athletes, 2 former coaching greats, 5 persons who have been outstanding in their support of Rattler athletics. So let me ask a question before we get into talking. What is the process? Remind people a little bit about the process of nominating and then selecting.
Typically what we like to do is every year right after the Hall of Fame ends, so the Monday after the Hall of Fame ends, the nominations open, and they go through the end of the year through December 31st. And people can submit via at the FAMU Athletic website has a link for Hall of Fame. You can go on that site, click the link, and submit, a person's name, their credentials, the reason you may feel that they're worthy, and that's kind of where the process starts. And so, obviously, people who are a little bit more, a little bit more recent, it's easy to try to match those things up as far as what you say about the person and what we can find out about the person to be true. A lot of people who had great careers may not have had Hall of Fame careers. When we talk about our supporters, the supporters and the contributors, those things are easy to look up as well. I won't say the number we look for, but we look for very high 5-figure contributions as a contributor to the athletic program. And typically as a supporter, you're talking about 10 plus years of giving to the department in some sort of way where if you did not do what you did, the program would have taken a hit. Like we would have missed you, right? And so when you think about the people who going in this year as supporters, they fit that category. Jackie Perkins, one of the first African-American female athletic trainers. You got Michael Smith, who stood in several times to be our interim athletic director and really held the department in the road, held the ship in the road during those years. And of course, last but not least, is Van Wilson, who for 30 years tirelessly gave as a volunteer, to the department, at various games, right? Football games, basketball games, keeping statistics, all the things, like I say, that people sometimes, take for granted. And I say it this way, this is the type of thing that if this person doesn't show up, you'll miss them, right? So it's the thing that it's a thankless job, but if these people didn't show up and do what they did, we would have definitely missed them. So just in that particular space. So that's how that process goes. Let me finish up. So typically at the beginning of the year, the Hall of Fame Sports Committee gets together. There are 11 of us who get together, and we start mulling through those names, trying to match credentials with the information that we got, and we kind of get that list down. And then eventually you have to go in with a 75 or 80% of the vote. My mind is slipping right now, but it's a pretty high standard. You only can probably lose 1 or 2 people out of 3 people at the most, out of that group I just named, out of that number I named. So typically when people make it through the cut, they really made it through the cut. So that's kind of how the process goes. And we like to make our announcement April, May of every year, and kind of get this thing pushing. So we are where we are. I just thank Coach Stooks, Coach Colonel Rollins, Coach Lane, Dr. Ramsey, and Alvin Hollins for doing what they did for all the years that they did it, so that someone like me could come along and continue to try to hold it together. And so I'm just one person on this committee. This is a committee of people who do this as volunteers and just try to make sure that we represent the best of FAMU athletics.
Nice. Go ahead, Kelvin.
So, Marvin, I think the next logical question is, are tickets still available for the event? And if so, how can people purchase them?
Yeah, he actually read on that link. That actually is the purchasing link. So if that link can be put somewhere, that actually takes you to the site to purchase tickets. Tickets are $100. Of course, food is a little higher and things cost a little more this year. So we went up just a little bit, and we want to be able to give back a little something to the department. This typically has not been a fundraising initiative, right? And we're not trying to go over the top to do that, because what happens this time of year, you have so many people having events, you start competing, right? So, and I personally don't believe in that. That's probably another story for another day. But the Rattler Boosters just had their kickoff event. Of course, we're having this event. So this is about recognizing Rattler legends and being able to give a token back to the athletic department, when and where we can. But of course, obviously in my new role, my mind is changing a little bit. My mind is tweaking things a little bit, where we'll continue to expand it. But here we try to keep our expenses relatively low, and then of course, the money we bring in covers most of our costs. So.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Good afternoon or good evening, Marvin. Thanks for joining on the show.
Thank you.
Actually, I wanted to ask a little bit about the new role. I guess the role that you've been anointed in, I guess within the last, it's been sooner than a year, I guess within the last 6 months or so, in terms of fundraising. Could you elaborate on it a little bit? And if any aspects of it, potential or current, relate to the changing landscape in college football, or actually NCAA sports as it relates to NIL and things of that nature, or they're two separate issues?
Oh, man, that's a good question. First of all, I am glad to be a part of the university advancement team, currently under the leadership of Dr. Brandy Tatum Frederick. This role was created by our foundation board of directors last year. So I'll talk about the creation of the role first and foremost. Every year at the end of the year, the athletic department in the past typically comes to the foundation board, and they're, kind of trying to fill some gaps, right? And that could be anywhere from $300,000 to $750,000 sometimes, where they're trying to fill the gaps and things that they need. Of course, our band at different times have needed things to travel or to do the things that they need to do. And so the foundation board decided we need to create a position and have somebody trying to secure these funds throughout the year. So instead of waiting till the end of the year to try to come and kind of make up for what didn't happen, let's try to have somebody focusing on that throughout the year. And that's how the position came about. So this started last year for me, actually. I thought we were going to be able to move some things along through the interview process last year. Got delayed a little bit, and so eventually things worked out, when they work out. That's just God's timing. But I think the ironic thing is that being able to, being familiar with the current leadership in athletics, the current leadership in the band, my years of experience as a coach, my years of experience as an athletic administrator, it allows me to wear all of those hats and go out to Rattler Nation and go out to other people and start talking about the good things that our student athletes are doing each and every day, that our band members are doing each and every day, and get people who understand why it's beneficial to partner with us, right? Because that's what it's about. You're trying to show yourself. We talk about FAMU as a brand, but when you're a good brand, when you're a positive brand, you want to show why people should partner with you. And so that's kind of where we've been and what we're doing. And so as the major gift officer, the major gift part of it says you're supposed to solicit people who have the ability to give $25,000 or more at a time. So that's typically my target audience. But I told them early on, if you all are waiting for me to bring in just $25,000 gifts only, I'm going to be out of a job in 8 months, right? 6, 7 months. So, because there's a lot of people who can do 1,000, who can do 5,000, who can push a little bit and do 10,000. And so that's kind of where we went. Now, ironically, I was able to get actually 2 $50,000 gifts within my first 30 days. I had 2 different people I was soliciting, and 2 different people gave $50,000, one to athletics, one to the Marching 100 within my first 30 days. And that obviously kind of got that, kind of got you off and running pretty good. But, as things level off and you try to put a plan together, you want to become more comprehensive in your approach. So obviously we go out, we're doing something now called Rattler Roundups, similar to what we call the Strike Tour in the past. I didn't necessarily want to use that term just because it wasn't my term to use. There was nothing wrong with it at all. I just wanted to let people know this wasn't a tour. It had not been fully planned, but we had a new men's basketball coach coming in. We had a women's basketball coach that obviously has a heck of a personality. We had Coach Cozy, who was ready to get on the road and go talk to people. So we went to Atlanta, went to Jacksonville, went to Tampa. We're going to Chicago next weekend. So we're going to my hometown, Chicago. They're going to be having a private reception on Friday night, September 19th. Then we got a brunch on September 20th. Coach Ward and Coach Gordon will be going. Coach Cozy wasn't able to go. The team will be on a bye week, but that's a recruiting weekend for him. And so, we'll be in Chicago, and then the basketball team starts getting into their practice season. So things will slow down, and now I can start probably dealing more with and I hate to use that word, but our non-revenue generating sports, right? And so see what their needs are, try to get their needs out there to the public. But really, it's going to always be comprehensive in the approach. So I know you probably got more questions, but that's the role, is major gift officer for FAMU Athletics and the Marching 100.
Okay, well, thank you. I guess as a follow-up, one question I have, and I don't know, historically, just based from way back when I was in school, and I think we were there around the same time, and it was more on the school side versus the athletics. How do you prevent either donor fatigue or multiple initiatives, whether it's a major fundraising that you're championing, or how do you coordinate so that you're not having multiple requests and multiple initiatives from different places tapping the same people?
First of all, that's a good question as well. I mean, yeah, you guys are sharp. First of all, what we have to do, we have to get behind the fact that this position is doing what it's doing, and it's meant to galvanize that support collectively, right? You got to have as Brandy Tatum says all the time, you got to have one band, one sound. So there should be one band, one sound leading the charge out. And that's tough, right? Because fortunately, I've been married for 30 years. Fortunately, I have a young lady who I know who started something called 10 for 10. And it was a great idea, novel idea. I think she did over about $600,000. But if I hear one more person tell me, if 500 people give $25 and if 1,000 people give $35, and so what happens is that's how those can. It's almost like people just sit at home on their calculator and say, "Oh, this is the number. This is the magic number." But you have to have not one voice. I don't mean like I'm the voice. I'm just saying you got to have one message. And I always use Clemson University. Clemson University has something called IPTE. I pay 10 a year. Started almost 80 years ago, and it's their foundation. It's their foundational fundraising campaign about giving $10 a year. Now, granted, a lot of their donors give more than 10 a year, but IPTE, it encompasses everything else. So one of the things we're trying to do is started with the band, and I'm going to let it out a little bit tonight. It's called Beyond the Uniform. So one of the things I was doing when I was talking to Dr. Chipman early on was, what are you trying to raise money for, Shelby? It can't just be about the trips. People feel like the band should go everywhere anyway, so you just can't pay for travel. He started talking about scholarships. He started talking about, how he wanted his students to have scholarships and things like that. So when we started talking about that, Shelby said, we got to start talking about these students outside of their uniform. Who are they going to become? Who are they every single day? Because that's what people can attach themselves to. If I'm a business major, if I'm a business graduate, if I'm a journalism graduate, I relate to a band member because I can relate to you sitting in that classroom. So what happens is that concept starts saying, guess what? At an HBCU, we should think of all of our athletes like that. Beyond the uniform. So I think I know the Beyond the Uniform is definitely going to be a big band initiative because we're focusing on that one. But the more we talk through it, I think it's going to also leak over into athletics because that's what we need to see them. Coach Ward is doing something very unique with his deals that he wants to get for his student athletes. He not only wants them to get just traditional NIL deals, a part of what he wants to get them to do is have internships that complement the NIL part, right? And you asked about that earlier. I didn't answer it. So it's not that I'm not focusing on NIL, but it's almost like you got two different things, two bailiwicks, right? You got to take care of athletics, scholarships, and operations. That's kind of the wheelhouse that you kind of work within. Then you got the special request list of the coaches, right? Then you have the NIL part. So how do I get this quarterback, this point guard, this softball player to come to the school for this golfer? Got to start saying that now, right? The golf team is kicking butt. Yeah. So how do I get these individual people to come while I'm still trying to take care of the whole house? And so we're putting a few things in place. I had a call tonight actually with a team that's going to help us with in the NIL space. Collectives are moving away, but the collectives are technically not going anywhere because of the House settlement. They're allowing universities to pay. So this $25 million of revenue that universities can use to pay players, guess what? We don't have a $25 million pot, but we still have to find a way to take care of the right players who will eventually go to Alabama State or Prairie View A&M or those schools, right? So it's like you have to find the balance, but my whole point is you have to get the message out there that this is the person doing it, and we have to get behind that. Because one of the things we have to do ultimately, and I don't know, I've never been, it's not controversial, but I just think I think our Rattler Boosters, I think our 220 Club, I think our Rattler F Club, we have to find a way to consolidate. Because when you walk into those rooms, you see some of the same faces. So I'm giving $100 here, $50 there, and I'm giving $200 here. That $500 could have went a lot further under whatever umbrella that we're trying to move towards, right? And so, and to me, that's not a knock against those organizations. Those people have toiled for a long time. When you look at the leadership over those organizations, it's a shame that when people like myself, I walk in a room, Kelvin Rozier walks in a room, we're the youngest people in those rooms. That can't be the case anymore. So it's time for us, the 50-year-olds. It's time for us to get some of these 40-year-old people involved. But we have to speak their language in order to get them involved. And that's hopefully what I can do is kind of bring those generations together. That's the beauty of being in a place a long time and familiar with different aspects of your generational folks is that you can let everybody know we're not trying to step on your feet. It's not a thing where you have to be defensive. But I'm telling you right now, if we don't give Selvin Cobb, Colonel Joe, the rest and the accolades that they deserve, Curtis Taylor, Vaughn Wilson stepped in for Eddie Jackson. You think about that. Think about the people I just named, and you look at, how long they've been doing what they've been doing, and you're like, well, what's the succession plan? And there isn't one. And that's showing you that we could be potentially dying if we don't get that together. So that's why you look at people. I know your next question might be, you have to start looking at the people like your Rick Kinseys, right, who have these new ideas. How can we get people like Rattler in Arms, Rick Kinsey, Maurice Pickett, Brother Stubbs, Keith, to maybe adopt teams? To me, I think that's one of the strategies I have is have some of small pockets who can adopt teams. So now this whole non-revenue generating sports, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm telling you right now, you go to some of these small teams foundation accounts, oh boy, they got some money in those foundation accounts because they have the kind of people supporting them. Our women's tennis team, I'm telling you all without telling you, they actually got some people behind them. And so we can start getting pockets of Rattlers behind them. That helps so that we can then concentrate on the big picture. Put football, men's basketball, women's basketball out there and let them go get the big money, the corporate dollars, because that's what showcases the program, right? That's what people typically can connect to and relate to.
You said the initiative, Marvin, was beyond the uniform, correct?
Yes.
I tell you what is so genius about that is I've felt for a long time the biggest disconnect is that we don't know enough about these student athletes. And we don't have to know a whole lot. I mean, I would like to know a little more than where they're from and what high school they went to, right? But, some of our students have some great stories and they're great people, and we don't get a chance to hear it. And so now we get hit with the NIL bug. But what would make you want to give to a program or an individual is knowing, who am I supporting? You can't ask businesses to take on a student athlete when you don't know anything about the student athlete, right? I mean, so if we can tell more stories or at least introduce our fan base to these student athletes, I mean, all of a sudden it's going to open up doors. All kinds of, because people, we've talked about it when we've had on student athletes on our show. I feel like maybe I'm speaking maybe on just one or two instances that I know of. It's led to NIL opportunities for those students.
That's right.
Yeah. And so I'm not saying we got to talk to everybody, but the more that we talk to, the more you open up the door to these opportunities to not just the program and the individuals as well. So I love that idea and initiative. I can't wait to see that blossom, and I do hope it bleeds over into athletics as well.
No doubt. I think it'll be the biggest viral thing that we've had out here since 10 for 10. Yeah. I think when you all see it, you'll be pleasantly surprised.
A couple of quick questions here. Appreciate your time tonight. With the donations that you have received, are they anonymous or are they public? Because I know I had a couple questions asking what's been the largest gift, and are you attracting corporate sponsors? What can you describe or tell us about the donations that you've been able to secure thus far?
Neither one of them were anonymous, but so you can look that up. I'll leave it at that, but it wasn't anonymous. One of them, he just didn't necessarily want to have a lot of fanfare behind his name. Both of them didn't want to have fanfare. It just so happens that one of them, where she presented it at, obviously it turned into something big. So it's not anonymous. The corporate part of it is, I'm trying to make sure that's a fine line, right? Because obviously through our marketing department on the athletic side of the house, that's one thing about being in the foundation. Through the athletic side of the house, you want them to have the partnerships and relationships that they might try to, because they have to sell assets as well. I'm not the marketing person or the development. I am development, but I'm not that particular person for the athletic department. So I'm kind of cautious how I walk that line. And of course, once we kind of continue the role evolves, it could move into that a little bit. But my main target is, of course, is our alums who may not have been engaged before, to go out there and start asking people to stretch themselves. Right? There's a lot of Rattlers who've done very well, and we just haven't tapped them. We don't call them, right? And so that's one of the things. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's like, man, Marvin, you worked so many years in campus recreation, then you worked in student activities, then you worked in athletics, right? And I didn't know where I was being led necessarily. I mean, those are all good opportunities. All of them were, moves up for me at that time in my career. But what it did was my grasp of people who went to FAMU from 1985, 84-ish to almost when I left in 2018, it's not too many people that at least are not familiar with me, right? So I'm talking about all the intramural participants. And then you talk about if you became a part of a sorority or fraternity, I was either the Panhandle president, the Panhandle advisor, or the student activities director during that time, right? So we start looking at clubs and organizations. I remember Mr. Green, like not right now. The other day they had the pennant ceremony. The pennant ceremony is now 14 years old. The reason I know that is because when I became the student activities director, I started it in 2011. So all of those freshmen remember the pennant ceremony. So I'm just saying that to say is that it's truly been a blessing. And sometimes you don't necessarily know what the end game is, and you might have an end game for yourself, so to speak. Because of course, everybody has aspirations, so to speak. But I think my gift is relationships. My wife always tells me, Marvin, you're good at putting people together. And I'm saying that for real. If somebody said something to me tonight, they needed something, and I knew one of the three of you all did it, I would say your name just like that. We have to put ourselves in a position in life where we say people's names in rooms they're not in. We don't do that enough. It's not in our community, right? And I don't know why. It's like, I can't say his name because I don't know if he's going to get too much credit to do this. No. Say a person's names in rooms they're not in if you know that person can do that. And so that to me is kind of what we're doing is I'm saying the names of people who haven't been thought about. Think about it. It's tons of small business owners, and we use the word small business owners because they only make $1 million in a business or $800,000 a year in their business, right? Who's tapping those people? But then you start thinking about clusters of industries, right? What if we got all of our State Farm agents who live in the state of Florida to support FAMU? You got Lakeisha Gaines, South Florida. You got Ray Matthews in Tampa. You got Patrick Gray. You got my man Gator over in Jacksonville, Gator. You got Richard Matthews, of course, down in South Florida. I'm just telling you 5 State Farm agents. I can name a few more, Jimmy Watts and others. Well, guess what? These people are doing pretty well. So what if we put insurance agencies in a cluster to support different programs, right? So now you go and get your pharmaceutical sales. Who are the people? Because here's what you do, right? If you start telling Rattler Nation, these are the insurance agencies or the agents that support FAMU Athletics, guess what? That's how you get the reciprocal effect of, that's what I need to do business with. So it's not always just about having a logo on a billboard at the game. You start saying these are the people who put the money where their mouth is, and they're helping us build our programs the right way through these various relationships. Real estate agents, right? I mean, we have a ton of people. I could just keep going down different industries. And so these are the things you're working on. But when you come in, you hit the ground running. You're kind of trying to find your space. And so I think once I kind of find my space, I'm, probably doing my 100-day plan as well, right? And, just kind of making this thing happen, man. And I hope that I can be around for the long haul to see this thing take off the right way, and give our student athletes and our band members what they deserve. But more importantly, what Rattler Nation says it wants, right? Because you only can be as good as how much you put into it. So when we watch these games on TV and you watching the University of Texas and Ohio States and you keep wondering why we ain't got that, I guess what? There's a whole lot of people who ain't getting caught up in what happened 2 weeks ago, determine whether they're going to give money or not. They still give them money, and then you're able to make demands because you've given money. It don't work the other way around. I'm gonna give money once. I'm gonna give money once you listen to me. No, you got to give, then they'll listen to you, right? That's how it works.
Yeah.
Great. Kelvin, give you a chance to get the last question in here with Marvin while we got him.
Marvin, you've done a great job of articulating some thoughts, and my question centered around everything that you've covered over the last 15, 20 minutes. First, let me say, I understand the challenge of stepping into a role that didn't exist and doing the groundwork that you're doing, and I applaud you for that. We've got to continue to develop that. So my question centered around, though, and you kind of talked about it, once you get your feet wet, it centers around, my question centered around programming.
Okay.
Right. So how do you come up with initiatives that between your foundation, between athletic marketing and the AD, and I love your idea about all those groups at some point restructuring into executive leadership so that everybody dances to the same sheet of music. Because I understand the challenge that as well as the inquiries and the demands and all the ideas. And you're only one person, right?
Right.
And so you got to focus in and do what you can and establish a relationship. But just kind of talk about your approach to building this thing and growing it to something of not of the past, but taking the past and incorporating what the future needs to be.
I think one of the best ways to describe it is to say, you know, a person is best known by what they've done, right? And I would say two things that I'm proud of that I did in other roles was you see something and then you tweak it, and then you get buy-in at the same time. One of those things was the FAMU homecoming parade. We had an issue with the parade being downtown. We had an issue with Frenchtown. We had an issue with the route for the parade. They wanted to move us from downtown, from Frenchtown. Then we were coming down Monroe Street. And then eventually I was like, why not bring it on campus? You have vendors on campus all the time. You're trying to get people to come to campus early. We had this thing called the StrikeZone, and we were moving from, remember, the president's house, trying to bring that to the practice football field. So my point was one idea to bring the parade to the campus, because now we're in the heart of the community as well. And it was nothing against Frenchtown, right? Frenchtown's businesses were, you know, kind of going away. They were getting smaller. We were almost starting the parade, leaving Frenchtown from the beginning of it, right? We weren't there but 3 minutes and we were gone, right? Coming up Tennessee Street, coming to campus. So I would say that was one. Number two was nobody saw what could happen. I see somebody in the comments talking about the Funk Fest, right? The Funk Fest that we brought to town in 16 and 17 had never been to a city our size and on a college campus. So we brought all of those artists to campus the Friday before, because here's the deal. When you give people entertainment, when you give people a reason to come, then guess what? A lot of times the dollars become a part of that. See, it's our job as university advancement is what we call cultivate you. You know, we solicit you, we cultivate you, then we steward you, right? But the cultivation process is I got to bring you into something and I got to court you a little bit. Kelvin, what are you interested in? Marcus, Bryan, what are you interested in? We got to start having those conversations. So I say that to say that I'm doing the same thing. There's a potential, there is an event that'll be happening on the basketball team. I won't say what it is, but you'll hear about it soon. With the basketball team, it's going to coincide with the same night as something else. My idea was, well, this happening on that night, this happening on that night. Why not see if we can bring them together? Again, now we got a meeting tomorrow at 2:00 to talk about possibly bringing them together. So to be honest with you, Kelvin, I think it goes back to when you have the relationships and you come to people, people can say, I at least can listen to you because I trust that you're not trying to do me any harm in what your suggestion is. And then I have to be willing to listen and say, okay, what are the things you're scared of? How do we make you not scared of those things? And then try to have something that's a win for everybody. Because to you all's point, we can't continue to be segmented, because our community at this time, and more than anything else, has to come together, has to work together and become bigger and better and grow and grow and grow. And so, like I said, I'm just excited because I think one of the best skill sets that I've ever had was bringing people together and being able to talk to people about raising money. And so, you know, sometimes you might think it's going to come with another title. This was the title that it was meant to come in. And I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to support, like I said. I know very well the athletic leadership. I know very well the band leadership. Been knowing them for years, and I'm excited to be a part of helping them do what they're doing to take us to another level.
Awesome.
Good stuff. All right, Marvin, again, we appreciate your time this evening. Want to remind Rattler Nation, Friday, September 26th, 7 p.m. You said in Gaither Gymnasium, correct?
Yes, Gaither Gymnasium, 7 p.m., September 26th.
All right. I will once again, just in case anybody missed the link on how to purchase, we'll put that out there. We'll also make sure to tweet it out from our Twitter feed at ONG StrikeZone. It's $100 entry, but it's a great opportunity to come in, be around legends, to see. And once again, let me put the names up here real quick.
Do that, please. We gotta make sure.
Yeah, I want to make sure we spotlight these individuals and they're their names. The female student athletes, Quavondra Curry, Amber Fullwood, Rachel Pye, and E. Lillian Spencer. The men, Wayne Barber, Jomo Cousins, Carlos Odom, and Philip Sylvester. Coaches, Willie Booker, Jorge Olavis, men's basketball and swimming. And then, of course, the contributor and supporters, Roy Moore, Maurice Pickett, Jacqueline Perkins, Michael Smith, and Van Wilson.
And guys, I know you're about to go, and I know y'all hit a timeline. The Amber Forward is a great example. Amber Forward was going into the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame. The Tampa Bay Rays decided the night that they're doing the FAMU Day at the Rays, we're going to let her throw out the first pitch. So when Amber was throwing out the first pitch, we decided, again, consolidation of ideas. Okay, Coach Ward, Coach Gordon, can we go to Tampa that same weekend? Let's do something. Let's try to raise some money the weekend we're there. Amber's dad called me and said, Marvin, I got a venue. What can we make work? So here he is at the point of recognizing his daughter, saying, you know what? Makes sense. Let's do it. Well, by the time we talked to the Rays, and the Rays knew that Coach Ward, Heisman Trophy winner, and Coach Gordon, former Olympian, were going to be in town. Next thing you know, they're giving the lineups at the start of that game that they played that night, in Tampa. So they became the honorary captains of a game. Amber's throwing out the first pitch. FAMU was in the stands with the Rays hat on, all because you think outside the box and says, how can we do more together than separate? Perfect example.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Again, so it's the Alabama State football weekend. So we already know that's going to be a great weekend. It's going to be a great crowd. It's going to be a huge game. First game of the conference SWAC season. Every reason to be in. You're going to be in folks. You're going to be in Tallahassee anyway. You need to be in Tallahassee every home. I mean, it's a hell of a home schedule. So after this weekend, you're going to be there in 2 weekends. Get on over to the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame. Go ahead and make that donation. Add that to your itinerary of things to do on that evening, and we look forward to seeing you there that Friday night, September 26th, 7 p.m. Marvin, any other plugs or any other ways that people can connect with you or connect with the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame? Go ahead and give those plugs.
Well, I'm just Marvin.Green Jr. at FAMU.edu. I don't have all these @ stuff yet. I got to get all my @ I apologize for that, guys. But Marvin.Green Jr. at FAMU.edu. Rattlers have a ton of ideas. I'm not opposed to people sharing ideas with me, and let's make it happen. So thank you all so much for your time. I'm humbled, and I'm glad to be a part of the Rattler family in this way.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Marvin. Coming up on the other side after the break, we're going to bring in our Women's Sports Coach of the Year, none other than our head softball coach, Coach Brittany Beall, right on the other side of this break. You're watching the ONG Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
ESPN Events presents Red Lobster Band of the Year, a title reserved for elite HBCU marching bands. A season-long competition that culminates in Atlanta on Friday, December 12th. Drum majors, percussion, drill, auxiliaries, musicality. All aspects will be examined by the toughest judges in the world of college bands. 4 will qualify for the big stage, where national champions will be crowned. Follow us on social media for rankings updates throughout the season. And join us in Atlanta on December 12th. For event and ticket information, visit bandoftheyear.com.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Get ready for the inaugural Unity Classic, Saturday, September 13th at Nathaniel Glover Community Field and Stadium. It's a clash of the Virginia Union Panthers of the CIAA and the Edward Waters Tigers of the SIAC. Plus, an HBCU band battle between the Edward Waters Triple Threat Marching Band and the Virginia Union Ambassadors of Sound. The inaugural Unity Classic goes down in Duval.
Welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus, and joining us is our Women's Sport Coach of the Year for 2024-25, as well as our head softball coach, Coach Brittany Beall. Coach, welcome back to the show. How you doing tonight?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing great, Coach.
We're great, Coach. Good to see you. Thanks for taking some time for joining us tonight. Sorry we're running a bit behind. Almost are we at the 1 year anniversary, Coach? Are we almost there at 1 year anniversary?
Yes, October 1st will be 1 year. Yeah.
Okay, October 1st. Wow, 1 year ago. Hey, look, I'm excited the fact that you've had this whole off season of recruiting, doing camps, getting the team ready, and fall ball is right around the corner. What has the start of the what is the past month or two since we last talked with the camps and just getting the new players acclimated to school and everything? What's that been like for you?
This summer was a lot of recruiting, a lot of us getting our face out in the softball world, I would say. So we did a lot of tournaments and a lot of camps, and then also, we got 11 new people on the team. So just kind of getting them acclimated to the FAMU, tradition and cultures and getting them all squared away with their classes. So we've hit the ground running. We already had another camp this past weekend. So I'm on fumes right now just because we started 5:45 a.m. workouts. So we're hitting the ground running. And as I explained to the girls, it's all about the preparation. This is our preparation time. So we have to make sure that we're all buying into what we have as our team mission. And I think we're doing a great job of just, chipping away of trying to make sure that we are ready for this upcoming season.
Nice. I'm gonna give it to Marcus because I know Marcus might have some recruiting info or some questions. I'm gonna get out the way because Marcus is on it.
Marcus always have questions. So I gotta make sure I'm my P's and Q's for his questions.
Actually, I don't have a recruiting question. I've seen that both you and Coach Jessica have been on it in recruiting. So I've been following that closely. But I had a question about, let me see, how can I put this? I guess I'll start with a little bit of background, and Kelvin may remember this. It's not softball related, it's football related. Way back, we were going back in the late 90s when FAMU, and in football, we played North Carolina A&T. And one year we really whooped them for homecoming. And our coach of that.
Did we lose Marcus?
Yeah, I think he faded out on him.
It must have been a bad question.
Marcus,
there you go.
You got sniped. Right, go ahead and reset your question.
Yeah,
go ahead and restart your question. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, long story short, it's on the football side. So about 25 years ago, we played North A&T.
They don't want him to say it. They don't want him to be great.
Your internet don't want you to be great tonight, boy. I tell you. I remember that game too. I think I don't know where he's going, but I remember the game when he's talking about. He's breaking out. I'm gonna come back to Marcus. Kelvin, go ahead with your question, and I'll come back. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, Coach, who's doing your social media stuff? Because I see things when you're working out in the morning and when you're at the stadium. I see, the young ladies moving to their dorms. I see, the camps. You got a lot of content going out, and it's great. We follow all of it and we push it out. But who should we be giving kudos to for that?
I think it's a combination of it's a tag team. Some of the things that we're doing, we're sending to our SID, and then he's posting it up online. And sometimes I think he has some interns doing a few little things. But like I said, in the world of softball, things are changing. And within this generation of kids, the more they see CC or potential student athletes, the more they see things, the more they want to entice of seeing like what's going on at FAMU. So we're trying to make sure that our content is just as our Power Fives, Power Fours. So we want to make sure that we elevate our game and let, the world not see everything, but just get a little taste of what we're doing. So sometimes I'll post on my personal, my Twitter or my Instagram, because Jess will do some stuff on hers as well. So we're just trying to really make sure that we highlight what our players are doing on and off the field at all times.
Okay. And then my follow-up, Coach, is how are things going thus far? All right, you're into camp now. You just released your schedule for the fall, and just kind of talk about where things are and what is the goal you're trying to accomplish for your team as well as your staff for this fall.
So we had a team meeting the other day, and we talked about like what is our team identity. Every year, every year is going to be different, right? And so we really haven't solidified what our team identity is yet. But we did talk about what our goals are as a team. And they brought up some of their past experiences and how they want to make sure they capitalize on every opportunity that they have this year. So we emphasize being a little bit more intentional within our preparation. So our individuals, and we are trying, not to say we're going to achieve that goal. We want to be the first HBCU within the SWAC to win multiple regional games. So obviously we know to get to that point, you have to win, the SWAC championship, but we want to be that first. We want to make history. And I think everybody in the room, when we had our team meeting, they believe it and they want to achieve it. So we got some really great girls, in addition to the girls that we had on the team last year, that are eager. They're hungry, and we're all on the same page. So to be, as a coach, I couldn't be more proud of the progress that they've only shown with these last 2 weeks. But I'm very, very excited to see how we put everything together. And I mean, this year we got the pitching, we got the catching, we got the hitters, we have the defense, we have the runners. So just putting that all together in cloud of one, is going to be something a sight to see. So if you're not a softball fan, you better jump on because this is something that's going to be epic. And I know that, God has blessed us with a great group of young ladies that are wanting to make sure that they make history.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Let me ask, Coach, does that, what you spoke of, does that also include not just performing well in the SWAC, but also the non-conference? Because that, I'm assuming softball is probably like other sports where your end of the season rating, a lot of that is predicated on how you do in the non-conference. So is that also some of the formula as you even think about scheduling that goes into that mindset?
So I think within the SWAC, they only take one automatic bid. Now you have to be a champion. So I think within scheduling our schedule this for the spring, I wanted to make sure that we had a rigorous schedule, that we were competitive, because I feel like, when we're playing Power Fives, Power Fours, it's one of those things where it's different. It's very, very, very different. And so I have to challenge them very early on to see how well we do. So, this year we're going to do a midweek with Florida State. I'm kind of telling the schedule, but it's not a big deal. But we do have a midweek with FSU. We're going to play Marshall home. We also have UNF, JU. We're going to travel to Auburn for a midweek. And so we got some very early tournaments early on. But I think looking at our schedule, I think is a good combination of Power Fives, P4s, mid majors, and then obviously our SWAC. So I just really think that it's going to put us where we need to be before we get to our SWAC conference games.
Gotcha. All right, Marcus, let's give it a try. Let's see if your how your internet wants to cooperate here.
I'm going to have to talk fast. I guess. Well, now I have a different question. Maybe I wasn't supposed to ask that one. I noticed from the new players that you brought in, there seems to be a lot of Central Florida ties, or my assumption being ties as it relates to your time as a high school coach and people within that area, but also the makeup of the team. I want to say maybe not the physical stature of the team, but it seems a little bit different than what we've seen in the recent past. And could you speak to that a little bit? Not only the Central Florida connection for a lot of the folks that seem to come in, even some of the folks who are at junior colleges, I think had some roots in Central Florida, played high school, perhaps as competition when you were coaching at Eustis. But also, could you speak to that, but also the overall, I guess, physical makeup of the team and whether the strategy or approach of the team is different?
Yeah, so I think this year we are a lot more athletic across the board. So when you talk about, we got Michaela Register that's coming over from University of West Georgia. I mean, she's probably the tallest person we have on the team. So she's probably right about almost 6 foot. And then we also have one girl that's a JUCO transfer that's like probably 5. I would give her 5 foot. So it's just like we're very athletic across the board. When it comes to Central Florida, if they're coming from Central Florida, then I probably have seen them more than one time. So I think that's a little bit more of I would say maybe an advantage, because I haven't just seen them once at a tournament or twice at a tournament. I've seen them probably like over, the course of their their softball career. So I think those additions with those JUCO girls from Seminole State, they have a lot of experience and are going to push our girls for sure in the outfield. As I've been telling them, I said, I think we got 2 to 3 of every position that are going to push each other, and they understand that and they're okay with that. And so just seeing that aspect of, kind of knowing where to go when it comes to recruiting in the state of Florida. down south, Panhandle. I mean, I don't want to just centralize Central Florida. It just so happened, it just kind of worked out the way that it did. But just making sure that we recognize, state of Florida, and then obviously branching out to, because we also got a girl from Houston, Aaron Police. Mm-hmm. So it's just one of those things where, at the right time, at the right place, and needing those positions to where we're getting some of our players.
Okay. As a quick follow-up, I think I did see something this summer that you may have sent, that you also, I guess for the second summer, you participated with Team Africa this year. Was that, I don't know if that was a recent tweet. I thought something this summer, because I know you did it last year, and Erin, when she was on, she actually mentioned that she had crossed.
Yeah, that's how I met her in the very, the very beginning. So I was able to see. So like when we're recruiting, we're making sure that that's one of my biggest things. I want to make sure I see myself with physical eye. Softball is different. A lot of travel ball coaches are calling up, say, hey, I got this girl, you should check her out. Hey, I got this girl. And so probably everybody on my schedule or on my roster, maybe 2 people that I physically haven't seen. But again, I had good connections with the high school, or not high school coaches, but with their JUCO coaches or their 4-year coaches, to be able to say, hey, can she fit within our culture? Can she adapt to my style of coaching? How is she as a person off the field, on the field? So those are all the questions that I'm asking when we're recruiting, because those are important to me. And I know that our girls really, they want to make sure that we bring in people that are going to, push hard for FAMU and FAMU athletics.
Okay. Thank you.
Coach, before we get into talking a little bit about the softball fundraiser and just some of the needs of the program, I want to hit up again the schedule, which we showed up, the fall schedule. What is it? I noticed we play outside of Florida State and Tuskegee, mostly JUCOs. Is that standard, traditional? Walk people who might not be familiar with the goal, the time length. How much time do you have with the fall schedule for someone who's not familiar?
So per NCAA, we're only allowed 8 games for the fall season. So a lot of all these games will be, 1 10-inning games. So just to make sure. But I think for softball world, you're just trying to find the pieces to the puzzle and trying to figure out, what give opportunities and obviously put people kind of where they need to be, and try to kind of project what's going to happen for the spring. But I think this is a good schedule. I think the only person that we didn't play FSU last year in the fall, and then we didn't play St. John's. So, St. John's, they won the national championship for Division II JUCO year before last. Chipola always has a great team. And then Gulf Coast State, their coach used to coach for Virginia Tech for about 8 years. So, I think we're going to play some good JUCO teams. Like I said, we got 2 girls from Chipola, right? And so that's Amari Brown and Lexi Spooner. So just kind of seeing, that dynamic and how that is, I think it will be very good for us because we got about 6 weeks into our very first game. So and that's typically how it goes. Sometimes, you see your Power Fives, they're going to play, they may play Florida or they may play, UCF, but I think that's a really good schedule for us to be able to host all those games at home too. Except, we'll travel to TSC, and then obviously we'll travel to FSU.
All right. And the beautiful thing is everything is, you don't have to travel. Everything is right in the backyard.
Last year we had to travel, and that was a struggle. that was a struggle for those fall ball games. So we're very fortunate for them to be able to come to us, save a little money on the travel part. But again, being able to kind of show, our fan, our community, what we have and what we're putting on the table.
That's great. So Rattlers, you can come see you can get the early sneak peek of what the 2026 softball team's going to look like and get excited. And then you can go get your merch, the merch store. I got to give a shout out to the softball merch store. by the way. I got to make sure to find that link again and retweet that. Congrats on that. That should hopefully generate well.
A lot of options.
Yeah, a lot of options. I told Kelvin when I saw it, I said, what? I can go buy some softball merch? Oh, I got to get on this. So I'm excited to be able to go do that. But we wanted to, while we got you here, kind of talk about, needs, and I mean, I love the fact that, the program is growing. The program is bigger. We've been to the SWAC championship 2 consecutive years. We're right on the doorsteps of knocking it down and winning the title in 2026. But in order to keep this thing going, we have needs. And so I love some of the things that you've got here, and kind of, if you would, walk Rattler Nation through some of it, and then that way we can kind of get an idea on how this helps the program continue to grow the way it needs to grow to be a champion program.
So Amber Fultwood, she reached out, her father and her reached out with Rick Kinsley, and they kind of contacted me and said, hey, what are some needs that you guys have? Amber wants to start a foundation specifically for softball. And, as a new coach coming into into this university, it was very hard for me because, I'm kind of coming into this where I really don't know, like who to call, who to talk to. So I think I'm a little bit more reserved because I don't know, who is the biggest donor, who can I reach out to? So I think having this and having them contact me and ask me like, hey, you're an Olympic sport, you don't get that, you don't get those extra funds, but how can we support you, and what are some things of your needs? And so I sat down with my assistant coach and we kind of came up with some of the needs that we, that the team needs. And Amber was like, sure, let's go. So I'm very appreciative to her. I know Ira and I have talked previously about trying to figure out what we can do for softball specifically for our girls to feel, like they're there. And I think that's the biggest thing. You asked me, like, what are some, struggles when we're playing, our Power Fives? It's just having the basic things for us to feel or, just to compete. So for us, a bigger storage shed. I think something happened with the shed a few years ago where they had gotten one donated. And I think somewhere in some shape or form, it got missing. We need that. And so I don't think it was ever replaced. So that was one of the things. And just the upgrade of, our locker rooms and technology for the girls. There's all different kind of new technology where we can tell the exit velo and, pitching and just, it's a lot. And I know that, everybody kind of gets, wrapped up into, I know it's football season and, I love football. Like you'll see me at every football game that I possibly can, basketball game, volleyball game. Like I'm a supporter for all. But when it comes to my team, I want to make sure that I have that same intensity that I'm having with football, with softball or baseball or I'm a big supporter. So I just want to make sure that my girls or my team feels like they're right there as well. So those are just some of the things that I think we need to elevate our game with. We're getting more equipment day by day, and we need somewhere to store it. And so when the storage shed is probably number one on our list as far as that, and then obviously technology. And then obviously traveling, more things for traveling and nutrition and all those things that you hear everybody talk about. It's one of those things where we're a spring sport. So sometimes we kind of fly by the radar, but it's a long season for us. And we just want to make sure that we're taken care of.
What's the big number, Coach? What's, for all those things?
Big number.
Yeah.
So the big number is about 25,000.
Okay.
That's the big number. But Amber and her dad kind of broke it down to where they have, tiers, to where they have a grand slam, third base, second, a double, a single. And so I think it's a really good initiative, and I'm excited to see, how this all comes together for her and obviously for our program.
Okay.
You're looking at that number, huh?
I'm trying to find. Look, I'm a horrible
that's
host
very
today
that's very doable. That's very doable. Yeah.
No, it's very doable. We've done a lot. We know we can do that. I'm just trying to find. And Kelvin, you got to help me out here. I cannot for the life of me. I've seen the info and I've seen the link. Coach, what is it a text number for the donation? I know we've had
it's
it
just
before.
It's going straight to our foundation. So the 0006. I think Amber has it there where it goes straight directly to our softball account.
Okay. So you can go to the FAMU Foundation,
yes,
and use the code 0006.
Correct.
Are they doing anything with that text line? Do we know? Because I know I've seen other programs use that text number, but are we just strictly we want to send people to the foundation site and use the code? Is that where we're?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll make sure to put that up. I did put in the chats the store, which I noticed it's got which is great, by the way. It closes in 15 days. So you guys, it's been open for about a week or two. You got some time. Don't wait long, right? You can get all your gear. Get your gear now, so that way you're ready to rock it when it starts getting cool, and then definitely you'll have it all broke in by the time the spring season comes along. So I put that link in the chat, and then I'll also post the link for the foundation giving, and we'll make sure to hit that up. And again, the code is 0006. For those of you who keep that FAMU Foundation code, you just keep it on lock and you know what it is. But for everybody else, I'll make sure to get that link and I'll drop that in there. All right. Coach, what else? What else you got for us? Any other breaking news? Any other, you gotta leave us with something, Coach. You left us with a lot, I know. So I'm being greedy here. But
I don't know. I mean, other than we're getting football season is coming, so obviously we're getting recruits on campus. So we'll have some this weekend. We'll have a bunch, obviously, for homecoming, but just trying to make sure we put FAMU on the map. That's what we're trying to do, trying to make our alumni proud, make our university proud. So we've been working very tirelessly on just trying to prepare for this fall recruiting season, and then just trying to get ready. It's a lot of good things that I'm hearing across I don't even say state of Florida, but across the U.S. Just of FAMU softball, and I think we're building, and we're breaking down barriers to let people know that we're the team in the SWAC, and we're also trying to elevate the team, the SWAC conference in general. So I'm excited, and like I said, if you guys see us at the football games, with some recruits, just make sure you say hi and keep it pushing. But we're excited for what's to come. I can't even sleep at night just thinking about all the things that we have to do. But our girls are working hard off in the classroom, and they're killing it in the weight room, individual. Nice. So we're doing all the right things.
Nice.
And once they commit, Coach, make sure they tag us so we can retweet it.
I will. I promise.
One quick question. It's a fun one. I think I know the answer. EA got a question for you, Coach. I know you do.
Now y'all know y'all wrong for that one.
That EA, that's EA. He did that.
No,
Brian, you being messy.
He is. He on suspension for a long time. Him and I had a conversation this summer, and I gave him what he needed, and we worked it out.
We worked it out.
It was okay.
Okay. All right.
It was okay.
Good. We know. All right. We want to keep it. We don't want anybody thinking that we don't, we keep it friendly. So, all right.
Yeah.
Can't wait. We can't wait. Love everything that you're doing and everything. We always love the info that you provide for us. And again, congratulations on being the ONG Coach of the Year.
Thank
you. Great representation for the softball team on the award show. So, you ladies do a great job of representing, and you got a fun group of young people that you're working with. So we can't wait to meet them. Can't wait to talk to them and really excited to get out to Tallahassee in October and see the team. So that's what I'm looking for.
And I think at the football game too, you'll see a lot of them. Some of them are getting honored for the honor roll for having.
Oh, nice.
I think that's this week at halftime. Okay. So you'll see a bunch of athletes on the field this weekend celebrating those
nice
academic goals. So,
hey, Coach, didn't I see a video? Wasn't there a video talking about the fundraising?
So I did that video at the end of the season, and I think they kind of just they reposted it. So at the very end of the season, I thanked, everybody, Rattler Nation, for, helping out and supporting. And I said, it doesn't just stop here. We got to keep going. So it's just one of the things, like I said, I think that's the barrier that I'm trying to put my face out there. I'm trying to put us out there more so we can make those connections and relationships. Like I went to the booster luncheon and I just kind of sat in the back, but I wanted to make sure I, like I said, support, but also kind of see what's shifting, what's moving, so that, we could have our little hand in the pot too.
All right. For sure. Thank you again. Make sure you guys are following FAMU Softball, not only on Twitter, but on Instagram as well. Great follow, a great group of young ladies to watch. And we look forward to seeing you all up in Tallahassee when we come up. And have a great fall season, Coach. I know we'll talk again soon. You and the staff be well. All right.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome. Coach. I appreciate it.
All right. Our coach, our ONG Coach of the Year, none other than Coach Brittany Beall. Love Coach Beall. EA, you get me in trouble. See, EA being messy. His thing must have got hacked. That's what that was. His feed. Let me take a quick 30 seconds, pay some bills, and come back on the other side with Dr. Coach Darlene Moore. Right on the other side after this short message. You're watching the ONG Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically Black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
All right, welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus, and look who it is. Is joining us, a good friend of the program, Dr. Coach Darlene Moore. Coach, how you doing this evening?
Good evening. Doing good on this great day. How are you all doing?
All right. Coach, Coach, I feel like you're setting us up, Coach. I believe there's a uniform change coming somewhere in this interview.
I wouldn't do that to you all. I'm doing great. Looking forward to this weekend, but since I left Florida A&M about 6 years ago, I'm on the athletic administration side. So I'm currently the Associate Athletic Director at Kentucky Wesleyan College in Owensboro, Kentucky, and the Senior Women's Administrator. And we are a Division II school, and one thing that we are known here for is our men's basketball team, where we've won about 8 or 9 NCAA Division II championships. So we are very, very excited about our basketball team, but we are currently now in the midst of our football program, in which we played University of West Florida last weekend.
Okay.
And so it was a good game. Unfortunately, we lost, but we put up a valiant effort. The score was 28-7, but it was a lot closer than that score may reveal.
Right. What's the transition? And I know you've been in it for a few years now. I think I remember the last time I ran into you. I think you still had that coaching bug. I think you still had that desire to coach. Has making a transition from coaching to administration, has it settled for you, or you still have that coaching bug? What's it like now as an administrator?
Well, as an administrator, I work with compliance and sports administration. I oversee a couple of sports, and I've been very advantageous to those coaches because I'm able to help mentor them and guide them and help them to put together and maintain a great program and not to make some of those mistakes that I made um, going through the process of learning. And also with compliance, with dealing with coaches can get kind of pushy sometimes. So I'm able to deal with those coaches and work with them so that we can get a positive result for the student athlete and for the coach as it relates to compliance. I really, really enjoy working with the student athletes and the coaches with compliance because whether it involves, trying to get somebody eligible through a waiver or trying to see how many transfer credits would transfer in, I'm very helpful with that because that coach is down there inside of me. So I want to make sure that those coaches have those student athletes on the field or court ready to go. Ready to go.
And and before I throw it over to Kelvin, let me follow up with asking with the landscape of college athletics where transferring has picked up, probably 1,000 times and maybe 5-6 years ago. What does that look like at the Division II level in terms of the challenges that you face, or just in keeping everybody on the same track, making sure students are eligible, and you might have students, I'm sure, coming from Division I or other Division IIs. What's that like at your level these days?
Okay, well, one thing, I got out of coaching in 2019. The transfer portal started in October of 2018. And I got out of coaching in the spring of 2019. And so actually I look back, it was great timing because at that time we also had the one-time transfer rule where you could have a free pass to transfer to one school, but then if you transfer again, you had to sit out. Now it's unlimited transfers for Division II. There's no more signing national letter of intents. So there's nothing binding or holding those student athletes to a particular university. So they have a lot of freedom now. And when I was coaching, when you're trying to build a program, you're not trying to build a team, you're trying to build a program that will be sustained over year after year after year. So with the new rules in place, with the house settlement especially, and also Division I has that rule where that if you went to a non-NCAA school, you can compete for a fifth year. So for Division II, we actually lose that athlete because we don't have that rule. So if they went to a junior college a year, instead of them staying here with us, they will go to the Division I school where they would get that fifth year. And also in January, Division II, we will be voting on that rule as well for the fifth year. And I'm hoping, and it looks like it's going to pass. So we're hoping that happens.
Nice. Good to know. Go ahead, Kelvin.
All right, Coach. You know a little something about this big game coming up this weekend.
Yeah, let me loosen up just for a minute. Hold on, just for a second.
Hold on. Goodness.
I told you she was set us up, man. I told you well.
Wardrobe change. Oh, have mercy.
Yeah.
Lord
Let
have
me
mercy.
loosen up. Let me loosen up.
So, question number one, Coach. Will you be at the game, you and your husband?
Yes, we're going to be at the game. We're going to be riding on the bus. We're a member of the Ram Rooters. And we are an organization, a DSO, and our job is we totally support the Albany State University football team at all of their away games. So yes, I will be there.
All right, can't wait to see you. You all know you know how to find me.
Okay. Yes,
Now,
yes.
now talk about Albany State has gotten off to a really good start, averaging 50 points a game. Had two really big victories, including one at Kentucky State recently. So, how are you all feeling about the team and the matchup?
Well, we have our veteran quarterback, Isaiah Knows. So has really turned the corner with our offense. And we have some more seniors. We have some great guys that are out there. So we're actually excited. And we are ready for the Rattlers. And you all know I'm in the Hall of Fame. And I really love Florida A&M University.
Yeah.
But the Rattlers, we are coming to town. And I can already tell you, the Rams, we are coming to town, and we're trying to get out of there with the W. We're trying to get out with the W. And I just want to remind you all, although we played in 2022, we lost, but there was the one victory that we had that year in 1993, where we beat during that year. We as in Albany State, we beat Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman, and Alabama A&M that year.
We losing. You can't hear you. Oh, something happening there.
Say what? What?
Yeah.
We lost the signal there,
And
Coach.
so,
What?
and Albany, and I was very instrumental in the hiring of Coach Quinn Gray at Albany State University from our ties here at Florida A&M. And so I'm excited to see what he's going to do playing on the field that he's played on, obviously, in the past. So I feel, Rattlers, that it's gonna be like a homecoming. It's going to be like a homecoming game there. And so we have several buses that are coming from Albany State University for the students and for fans. So it's gonna be a big draw. And also, just so that you all can remember, Albany State does have 16 SIAC championships, with the last one coming from in 2021 with Coach G, who is now the head coach at Charleston Southern University. And we also were named HBCU Black College National Champions 3 years as well, 2003, 2004, and 2010. So we do have a rich tradition and history, and Coach Gray has done a great job with making sure that we maintain that tradition. And we have a lot of Florida guys on our team as well.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so I think it's going to be a really good game. And we are just hoping that we can get out of Tallahassee with the W.
Okay. No.
No.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Good evening, Dr. Moore. I had a question
Hello.
for you. What
Okay.
changes have you seen, or what, since Coach Gray has been there, what changes have you seen in the program that has gotten you to this point? And I guess the second, or maybe a time question, and maybe I missed it earlier, is there a chance for your current university in Albany State to play in, I know you're in different conferences, but
Yes.
out of conference games in any sports? Have you made those arrangements already, or anything in the works?
No, but I planned on it. I think it
Okay.
would be a great game. We have a great facility here, a tough turf field. So I think it'll be a good draw. And also, as far as with Coach Gray's team, since he has taken over, I see a lot of more cohesiveness amongst the players. And also, the alumni, we're starting to more alumni starting to come in the fold, and also give money back to the program, because we want to keep that winning program going. So that has been stressed through Coach Gray as well. And I know that he had a fundraiser to get us new helmets. And the alumni raised that money lickety split to make sure that that happens. So Coach Gray has put his stamp on the program. He has a new uniform concept with our blue and gold colors that the guys are wearing. So and our locker room is looking, although we're D2, is looking D1. He has that locker room looking D1, and we also have a physiology lab in which the football team uses, and that is a great place as well that he helped assemble. So he's done a lot in the 2.5 years that he's been here. So this will be his 3rd season with the Rams.
Okay, well, thank you.
Where are they getting all this? Where are they getting all this money for this kind of stuff, huh, Coach? Where it's individual donors? I know you guys recently got what was it? The Atlanta Falcons had donated or were a big contributor to the new turf field in the Coliseum. Is that Is that a year or 2 years old, that turf? I mean, in terms of it's been in place for like a year.
This is our 2nd year playing on it. But also I know I met Coach Cozy actually in Frisco, Texas about Coach Moore, see you at the tailgate. Okay. I met Coach Cozy in Frisco at the FAMU National Alumni Association. I was at the pool social that they had, the pool party social, and he informed me that both of his parents graduated from Albany State.
That's right.
Yeah, I had to talk about that.
Yes, so we're just one big family. We have a lot in common. And he did ask me, how did we manage to finance that nice facility that the football team is housed in? But we also used the physical education dollars, state dollars, and it's actually a physiology lab. And so there's 1 or 2 classes that use it, but then of course our football program use it. So both the athletic department and the education department work together to make that happen.
One of the things that has it even been a full 2 or 3 years since Albany State bought that or took over that second campus and sort of expanded their footprint? Or has it even been a full 2 years yet?
Oh, yes. It's been like 7 or 8 years, actually.
Oh, okay. My mistake. I know I was up there for the SIC baseball championships, and that was my first time. I think that was 2 years ago, I think, when I was there. And I saw all the facilities, and I'm looking around like, okay, how much longer? So the question I'm going to is, I'm sure Golden Ram Nation, I'm sure you're happy with the success at the Division II level, but are alumni, fans, others, are they looking up saying, we could be Division I FCS? Are there aspirations? What are you hearing?
Oh, no, we are very comfortable at the Division II level just right now. And alumni, we're working hard to get Coach Gray what he needs so that he can go not only just SIC championship, but also postseason wins. So we want to get him to that level as well. And once we can get it there and it's sustainable, then who knows what's in the works. But as of right now, we want to make sure that we get him where he can compete year in and year out on the conference level and postseason in Division II.
All right, guys. Any other questions you got for Coach before we ask her to give us predictions? I know where she's going with it, but we always like to bring on our guests and tell us and give us those predictions and how it's going to happen. So Kelvin, Marcus, any other questions you got for Coach?
I got one, Coach. This year's Rams football team, has a lot of accolades. They predicted to win their division as well as I think they're the favorite for the SIAC. They had a lot of first team all SIAC players, particularly on the opposite side of the ball. What do you think their chances are in terms of their conference?
Oh, most definitely, Roger. We're looking to contend and play in the SIAC championship. We have great players, including we have Miss D Cotton. Her son plays on our team, and he is big time. He is
Right.
big time. A lot of alumni understand we picked him out during the first game. So
Right.
our goal is definitely to win the SIC championship and to see how deep we can go in the playoffs this year.
Okay.
We have the team to do it.
All right.
And the score.
Well, hold on. Before you go score, let us know how. Let us know what it's going to take for the unthinkable for Rattler Nation, but the thinkable for Golden Ram Nation to happen. For Albany State, if you all roll down and get what you hope to get, what is it going to take? How is it going to happen?
Well, Bryan, it sounds like you want me to give y'all the recipe to what we're gonna be doing.
Nobody watches this show, Coach.
Yeah,
Nobody's watching us. Nobody's watching us.
I can't give you the recipe. I can't give y'all the scouting report. But what I can say is that we've been preparing for this game all week. We've been comparing, and we are so looking forward to it. And I wish that this was an annual game, actually, because it's a good draw, and it's also great for revenue. It's great for revenue. So, but yes, but we're gonna be aggressive. We're gonna be aggressive.
See, it's a little too dangerous to be playing every year, Coach. You know, y'all have expectations, and you don't want to just come down here and get a paycheck like most teams. You know, y'all want to actually come down here and win.
Well, that's right, Bryan. You know, like I told all my teams, do y'all want to be participants or do you want to compete? And so I can tell you, this weekend, the Golden Rams, we're coming to compete in Bragg Stadium. And one other thing, my husband, he said, when I told him I was going to be wearing a blue and gold shirt up under my orange, he was like, Coach, you sure you want to do that? Are you sure? I said, Florida A&M knows the love that I have for them. I said, they know it's all in a good little joke. I said, they know, it's nothing against them.
Absolutely.
All right. Hold on. I got a message said what is this? Albany bringing down all of Daughtry County down US 319 to Bragg. What type of crowd are we expecting? You think it'll be over 3,000-4,000 that's coming from Albany?
Most definitely. Yes, most definitely. Oh, we're coming in there. We're gonna be deep. We stacking them deep.
Wow. Look at this.
Yes.
It's been a long time since we've seen a big contingent of visitors come to Bragg. So this will be interesting.
And
all
like
right,
I
Coach.
say, with Coach Cozy, he has his family that's a part of the ASU family as well. So it's, and you got his family coming. You got Coach Gray from Tallahassee, his family and everybody is coming. So we're going to string them up.
It's very strange the family ties of this ball game between the two head coaches. One coach whose family ties are from Albany State, the other coach whose ties from FAMU, of being a grad himself. I mean, wow, you can't make this stuff up, man. This is great television, lots of talking points for folks to salivate over. Yes. All right, Coach, give us the give us your prediction. We'll put it on record for you, and we'll see how far off you are.
Okay, I think the final score will be, I'm gonna say 28-21 Albany State.
Okay.
Boo!
28-21 Albany State.
No, you can't come to the tailgate now.
It sounds like you're predicting. It sounds like you're predicting some kind of fourth quarter magic. Is that what you're thinking?
Bryan, we're gonna jump on the Rattlers in the first quarter.
see,
we're
there
gonna
we go.
jump on
There
them.
we go.
We're gonna jump then.
There we go.
So we're gonna be more proactive than reactive.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I'm sure Coach Gray gonna give me a phone call after this.
Yeah, exactly. We appreciate you spilling all the tea, as the kids say, Coach. We thank you for that.
Now, where can we find you? Where can we find you all at the game? Where can Albany State alumni find you all at the game?
Well, the tailgate is right on that side where
which side? Press box side.
Yeah. Well, press box side. We'll be on the press box side. So not far from the entrance where most likely the visitor section. That visitor section is on the west side. So we'll be there. We don't hide. We don't hide. So we'll be there right by the media gate, the main press box gate.
It's tailgating over there now. We can tell it's tailgating over there.
VIP
tailgate.
Oh,
Kelvin can tailgate over there.
Okay.
Can't speak for everybody.
I figured that because I don't remember it being on that side. Okay, VIP. Okay. Okay. All right, sounds good.
Got to know somebody wearing the right colors.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure I have my jacket. I'll make sure I have my jacket.
Exactly. All right. Well, hey, Coach, we look forward to seeing you. It's been a couple years since I've seen you, so look forward to seeing you, and we look forward to a great atmosphere. These are the Saturdays that make college football season fun. So it should be a fun, interesting game, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, Coach, Rattlers and Rick and all those groups, they're hosting some ASU tailgate in the up in the Pokenhorn lot where the RVs are.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We'll make sure we go up there.
All right.
I have my blue and gold and orange and green.
Yeah.
All right. Again, we love Coach Moore, FAMU Hall of Famer, definitely a champion, and of course a proud Albany State University alum. So, Coach, hey, we thank you for your time tonight. Safe travels to you and everybody coming on down to Tallahassee, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday. All right?
All right. Have a great night.
All right. Thank you, Coach. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good to see Coach in there. Good stuff. The big bad Golden Rams coming into town. 7 o'clock. Is it still 7 o'clock kickoff, right?
Yes. Night game.
Night game, 7 o'clock. It will be on SWAC TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So the debut on SWAC TV. Of course, audio will be on the Rattler Sports Network.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to check that out. Might be some familiar voices on the Rattler Sports Network, which also WHBX 96.1 is the flagship station there in Tallahassee, which you can also pick up online. So if you're in the stadium and you got your iHeart app, hey, I'm going to encourage you to plug in and listen to Mr. Chester and myself call the game maybe try to give you some stats or information as you're watching the game. So that's always a fun way to watch. Obviously we watch the game with our eyes, but sometimes it's good to be able to hear it. So, and if you're traveling around, I don't know who's calling the game for SWAC TV. So maybe I'll know all that information a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's a good question.
Yeah. Who? What?
About who's calling it? How are they staffing that? Are they using school personnel, or they have a traveling? They have one game.
No, they hire people to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. No. They hire the broadcast team that does that. So, and
yes, SWAC TV is an app too. Yes, you can download the app, and it's a nice app.
Yeah, you can download it on your smartphone or on your smart TV.
What's another graphic I had? Oh yeah. Speaking of SWAC TV, again, I would encourage you now. SWAC TV, you can get it. It looks great on Roku. Looks great on the Google Play Store. It looks great on Prime, not Prime, but what is it? Amazon Prime. Yep, you can get it on that app. I don't have Apple products, but I hear you can get it on Apple as well.
Yep.
So any of those. So the reason I'm telling you is because tomorrow night, you can watch the volleyball match. This weekend, the Lady Rattlers are hosting their Florida A&M Invitational. And so Thursday we play McNeese State. And that's a noon match. And then on the 13th, which is Saturday at noon, they'll play Georgia State. So, and those games are being played in the Lawson Center, correct, Kelvin?
Yes.
I was gonna say I don't believe they're using Gaither yet. So,
no, not for games.
Yeah, right. And then of course later that evening, Saturday evening, 7:00 on SWAC TV is where you can watch the game against Albany State. Works well. It's all on Google. Yep. Sam said works even on the Google One device. Yep. Google One as well. So there we go. Good stuff. All right. Any other? Let me see. Hold on. Let me go to before we come back to hit on that game for a second. I want to make sure. Any other mentions or plugs that we want to mention? I know Mike's got a thing here. Our good friend Mike Reed doing some promotional stuff again. Already doing the early planning for the October 25th to 26th Florida weekend in the Bayou, as FAMU versus Southern will be on Saturday, October 25th. And then the Buccaneers are playing the Saints the next day. So if you're looking for some travel opportunities and you want to, stay in New Orleans Hotel and Transportation, reach out to Mike Reed, justlookingout.com, 813-240-3116. Should be a good weekend. Should be a good trip. And then, of course, also coming up first weekend in October, the Georgia Football Classic, 4:00 in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Mississippi Valley State and FAMU. You can purchase tickets through Mike's code there at the bottom of the screen. I think we have a code too, Kelvin. Kelvin said we had a code. You want to let people know what that code is, Kelvin?
Strike.
There you go. STRIKE. Right? So yes. We'll right. So yeah.
Also the softball link in terms of that fundraising I see that Rickham have put it into the chat, and I also put it in the
Okay.
private chat.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
did
can just
copy it in the private chat?
Yeah. So we'll get it on all our social media pages, and but yes, please go and support the softball team. They're trying to win us a natty. Coach feels good about our team. You know, a little does a lot for those Olympic sports. So let's make sure we support that effort.
There you go. Posted it on YouTube and on Facebook on all the feeds. So appreciate you dropping that in there, guys. Good stuff.
And mentioning Amber, Coach mentioned Amber, and Marvin mentioned Amber, who will be getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. She's one I guess also next week on the show.
Nice. Of course, that's Amber on the left. And of course, that's Philip Sylvester on the right. Again, there's the class. Heck of a class of players, coaches, contributors, and supporters. I didn't get a chance to ask Marvin if this event is going to be streaming in any capacity, but who knows? Something to talk about offline. Who knows? Maybe there's a way you can contribute. I don't know. We'll have to talk to him about that. But anyway, you can for $100. I think he said $100. You can buy a ticket to this event. And your contribution is also serving as a bit of a fundraiser as well. So, it's not just $100. It's $100 going towards something. So, should be a good crowd.
Yep.
Good stuff. Okay, fellas, the matchup this weekend, again, we understand what's at stake. 0-2 versus 2-0. Albany State has looked really impressive. They've gotten a lot of people's attention over the past couple of weeks for the amount of numbers, for the numbers that they're putting up. Last week against Kentucky State, I think the score at half was 28-21 before they essentially outscored them, 21-0 in the second half. Isaiah Knowles, he's preseason everything. Preseason player of the year, Black College Hall of Fame player of the year, watch list. He's getting a lot of accolades over his performance over the last 2 weeks. And then, one of the things that I noted, and you mentioned this in the conversation with Darlene, with Coach Moore, Kelvin, was the preseason awards. Like, it is littered with Albany State players, especially in offense. The skill positions. Yeah. Yes, on offense. And I really feel that is where this game is going to be, I don't want to say won and lost, but that's the side and the matchup that I think is going to be most intriguing. I don't know. Do you guys feel that way, or do you feel differently in terms of their offense versus our defense?
So I'm thinking that we're going to have to put up some points. I think I said before the season started, regardless of the opponent, that we would probably need to average around 28 to 30 points a game. And that's still where I think I'm at. If we can get 4 touchdowns, I think we're tough to beat, especially at home. So how much we slow them down, I'm interested to see. But yes, I think who offensively protects the ball and finish drives, that probably will be a deciding factor. You on mute, Bryan.
Yeah, I see. Thank you. Yeah, I said, hold on. I think Marcus is back. Marcus, you back?
Yes, it must be my connection. Okay. Something's going on.
Yeah. What's your side? You know, what is the one side that you are most intrigued about going into this ball game?
Well, I mean, both you and Kelvin brought up interesting points. So I agree with the tale's going to be told, our defense versus their offense, especially given how prolific it's been the first couple of weeks on their side of the ball. But the biggest yelps from us, you know, putting an asterisk by the FAU game, is how well our offense has performed and the scant amount of points that we've scored as compared to what we're accustomed to or what we're desiring. So I'd like to see, you know, how our offense is going to come out against their defense and see what they're going to do and how they're going to, you know, I don't know if they're going to stack the box and try to force RJ to pass or you know, just make it a one-dimensional game or what. So I want to see how we adjust on offense and how we are going to attack and try to score points, because we know that they're going to try to score points and probably will score some. So we're going to have to be able to keep up.
Do you guys, tell me if you feel, or if maybe you think I'm crazy, if you feel something similar here. I see Hollow's comments, right? And I can't stop saying that when we were running into this game, when we were looking preseason, when we did our preseason show, right? Going into this game, we probably thought, most people thought that we would be
1-1.
1-1. Best case, maybe 2-0. Right? I don't think anybody thought we would be 0-2. And I think it's changed how regardless of it being Quinn, regardless of what they've done in 2 weeks, I think that has kind of put folks' mindset into this season is lost mindset. Instead of just focusing on letting this team play. And it's like seeing that, you know, we lost a 1-point ball game on the last second on a walk-off kid. I mean, have we seen nothing? Have we seen nothing good in 2 weeks? I feel like that's the sense from a lot of people.
I don't want to overreact. I think
right. That's what I feel like that is, though, an overreaction.
I don't. I mean, we've seen sports, special teams play. Last week, all 3 phases, but against the Howard game, you can say, you know, the guys haven't quit, but we've scored 14 and 9 points. So, I mean, it's concern. And, you know, honestly, the concern is okay. It's still early, but it's panic mode. Right? It's panic mode. You know, if you go on 3 and you playing, you know, your East rival, the next game and start a swag play, you know, people go to projecting at that point. So, you know, I guess my mindset for this game, hey man, let's just get 1, so we can, you know, the players, team, coaches, everybody can feel good and comfortable, and then we'll go for 2.
Yeah. Are we at that point in the season? I hear what you're saying, Edwin. That's what it's like over there in the Bayou. It's tough.
Yeah, they changing coaches.
Right.
Coaching
3 weeks in.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like, whoa, that's quick.
That's a sign of desperation.
It's like, right, you went all season, right? You went all summer, all fall camp. And then after 3 games, 12 quarters, we got to change. It's like, damn, really? Tony asked a great question. Where's the running game?
Well, I would say conservative. Look bit on conservative play calling, bringing in a new quarterback, and teams and not worried about receivers getting behind them. We're not making the plays in the passing game that are there, whether it be the quarterback or the protection or the receivers. So it's a combination of things that's making the running game lack production. We got to get some explosive plays, man. We got to make the defense defend the whole field. We got to be less predictable. So it's not one thing. Everybody needs to step up. Everybody.
Kelvin mentioned that buzzword, explosive plays. Instantly brings me to you. What are your just analysis or your thoughts about the amount of explosive plays that we've had over the past 2 weeks? I feel like there has been a progression of sorts.
Bryan, I think I heard your question. It looked like it
had to do about explosive plays. Yeah, yes. I was just kind of following up with Kelvin's comments about the explosive plays.
Yeah, we do, because we had 3 against FAU and about the same versus Howard. So in terms of the total number, they haven't really seen a lot of them, and we averaged more than that last year. So we're definitely going to have to get that. There's sustained drives and explosive plays in order to make sure that we're scoring sufficiently, not only to keep up with Albany State, but to get the offense back on track. Because this is not what we would have expected going in. So in terms of capitalizing on offensive plays that are explosive and also having sustained drives more consistently.
Incoming message.
Especially if we look back at the Howard game where we had pretty good starting field position. It can't beat a dead horse, but if you're starting, you only have 1 drive starting below your 40.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, before the entire game, you got to put up more than 9 points.
Yeah.
No matter who you're playing.
Yeah, and and that helps your defense, right? So that they're not on the field back to back, with 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute drives, and the other offense getting more opportunities, more plays to go against your defense and score. So we got to play complementary football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was sitting here I was looking back through through Albany State's last couple of box scores on those 2 games. Obviously, game 1 was a heavy run game for them against Shaw. They ran the ball ran for 311 yards out of 487 total. Then the next week against Kentucky State, they passed for 304 yards out of 475. So they're pretty much averaging about 475 a game, and they're doing it in different ways in the last 2 weeks. I mean, so we're just going to have to tackle well. I tell you, the biggest thing I want to see from our defense, going back to that offense versus defense matchup, theirs versus ours, what kind of pressure do we put on Isaiah Knowles? Because I think the FAU's quarterback had plenty of time to throw. And I feel like that when we did get pressure on Howard's quarterback, negative plays for them, positive plays for us occurred. but it wasn't a lot though. And I say that because I don't think we're getting the kind of front four, front three pressure that we expected in the preseason. So I think the defensive coordinator is going to have to mix it up and do something different this game. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Turnovers for me. We got to generate more turnovers. Fumbles, stripping the ball, sack, strip, interceptions. We've got to give our offense more opportunities to make plays in good field position. So that's what I like to see, pressure as well as turnovers. Yes.
For me, it would be a fast start because, as all the rumbling that I'm hearing, seeing other chats, folks naturally, feeling some kind of way about the coaching and everything. So I don't necessarily agree with that, but keeping that in mind, that Rattler Nation would like to see a fast start.
Yeah.
And have some assurances early in the game. You don't want to prolong and allow Albany State to stay in the game, even if we have a lead. You don't want to not only put our team in a position to have to sweat something out, but you don't want to miss an opportunity to give reassurances to the fan base.
Yeah.
Well, I
we got to finish drives.
Yeah, I would hope we're not. I would hope we're not worried about the fan base. I would hope that no coach in that locker room is worried about what us folk think. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
well, not necessarily that, but from the crowd standpoint, because you can hear the mood in the crowd shift when it's like, why is this so close? And a lot of that crowd is probably a lot of people. Yeah. And you need that home support.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a crowd. Everybody going to be around. Your band going to be there. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Don't forget now, Coach Moore just told you it's going to be a strong contingent of Rams there too. So we want to make sure that we don't give them too much to be excited about and lift the spirits of their team.
Mm-hmm. Tony asked, can this offense score more than 21 points, no field goals to start?
Can they? We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
Haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. They're gonna need to though. I will say that. That again, 28. I'm looking for 4 touchdowns. That's my minimum. We didn't score 4 touchdowns last time we played them 3 years ago.
I think this is a nice transition to looking at the SWAC schedule and then make our predictions so we can close out the show. But this is a heavy Division II versus FCS week. Division IIs versus the SWAC in particular. Mike has this thing definitely about D2s in denial. And I think that's more so he stayed from a financial standpoint. I think, when you hear Coach Moore talk about the facilities that Albany State is putting out as a Division II school, and then when you juxtapose that with our facilities, you do kind of shake your head a little bit, and you're kind of looking side-eyed, like, who's,
Well, you got to remember now, first of all, on their main campus, they had the floods, and they got a federal money to kind of rebuild everything. So that's why their facilities are pretty good. Then also, when they did the merger, the facilities at this college, which was a predominantly white college that they merged with, were very good and fairly new facilities also.
Yeah.
And it almost doubled their enrollment too. So there's a lot of things that go into the pie, so to speak, for why ASU facilities are one of the better ones in Division II. Absolutely.
And that's why I asked that question about them. Does anybody have eyes looking ahead? I mean, when you have the upgrades that they have,
but they don't have the budget.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't even have the budget. That's what Coach was saying too. Because we've had this discussion on offline, and I've talked to some of their folks. You know, they just don't have the budget to sustain a Division I program at this time. You know, so you know, it's gonna be a minute for they can seriously consider that.
Yeah. All right, let's go through the SWAC schedule. Week number 3 in the SWAC, and I think we pointed out, if you look at the SWAC schedule, when you look at the number of Division II, I think half the conference is playing Division II opponents. Jackson State's playing Division II, Grambling's playing a Division II.
Just like last week was beat down Saturday, right? Most of us played FBS programs last week. So now, we're going the opposite direction this week.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those. I mean, I think the other half of the D2 games are in the MEAC, but some interesting FCS matchups. Alabama A&M taking on Tennessee State. Bethune taking on South Carolina State. Let me see. Let's see. Fresno is division. That's an FBS opponent that Southern's playing. Lamar. Is Lamar an FCS or are they
FCS? Yeah.
Okay. So So there's an FCS matchup between Texas Southern and Lamar. Why can't I make out who
Rice? Rice is FBS.
Rice is FBS. Rice is FBS. Alcorn's playing Mississippi State, FBS. You know,
that's Eastern Louisiana for Mississippi Valley State. And it looks like our Lincoln University Outlanders. I guess the one in California.
That is California. Yep.
So they're playing
trying to give UAPB their first win of the season. They better win that because it might not be nothing easy if they don't.
Yeah, they'll win that one.
Yeah. Besides our game, is there any game on the schedule that you're kind of looking at like, hey, there's a potential upset here somewhere?
Well, I don't know about an upset, but Bethune and South Carolina State definitely stands out for me. And Alabama A&M and Tennessee State. Now with the D2 games, Alabama State looks really good. But Miles hadn't been scared of them traditionally, but this is a new staff, and it ain't the same Miles. So I think the most compelling D2 matchup probably is our game.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what. I mean, Tuskegee at Jackson State is intriguing from the standpoint of we haven't seen the explosive Jackson State team that I think many people thought they would see from a team that started the season on a 10-game win streak, returns the kind of talent that they return. I don't think people have seen that explosive team yet. And then if you go back to game number 1, their attendance was really low for their standards. What's it likely to be this week when you have Tuskegee coming to town? You know? So while I think our game is definitely the hotbed D2 versus FCS matchup, I'll tell you, the Tuskegee Jackson State is intriguing to me. It just is.
It won't be a game.
You don't think so?
Nope. It's going to be a blowout. JSU going to blow them out.
Wow. 2-3 touchdowns? Is that your blowout? Is that your form of blowout?
Larger, but yes.
Oh, See, call me crazy. I might be crazy. I don't think so. I think Tuskegee will. I think Tuskegee and Albany State will play competitive games against Jackson and FAMU. I really do. I hope I'm wrong in both cases. I hope I do. I hope I'm wrong, but small sample size from both teams in 2 weeks.
Jackson State has played a solid HBCU Division I program, and then Southern Miss, which they put 20 points on the board and competed. Tuskegee is the weakest team they'll be playing. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Okay. Marcus, anything out of the mix that caught your eye? Or
no, not really.
Okay.
I'm just really interested in our game and interested in a good result.
All right. Okay. Bowl prediction time. FAMU versus Albany State. Bowl prediction time and score. Let me try to get my thoughts together here. Who wants to go first? Marcus or Kelvin? Who wants to go
I'll go.
Oh, you want to get it? You must have something on your mind.
Yeah.
So far you're 1 for 1. I don't even recall what you did in week 1.
Nobody did nothing in week 1.
All right. I think we all lost out.
And I didn't quite get there for week 2 because my bold prediction was 3 touchdowns. We only scored 2. But my bold prediction for this week is that I'm going special teams is gonna make the difference. It's gonna blow the game open. I'm gonna predict that FAMU will get a special teams touchdown, and they will create a special teams turnover. So I'm gonna go punt block and a kick return touchdown.
Okay.
Meaning we're not gonna get our punt block this time. I'm not saying we're gonna block the punt this time, and then we're gonna get a kick return.
But the prediction is, be specific, is that we score and block a punt or block a kick. That's a prediction though.
The prediction is a kick return touchdown and a block punt turnover.
Okay. All right. Leave it at that. Marcus, bold prediction.
I'm going to say 2 touchdowns from Jalen Rogers.
Say that again.
2 touchdowns from Jalen Rogers.
Doesn't matter how, receiving, rushing, jet sweep, whatever.
Yep, 2 touchdowns.
Okay. Is it a bold prediction if I say no issues in the kicking game? No missed field goals, no blocked field goals, no blocked punts?
For FAMU. Yeah, right now it's bold.
Right now it's bold. Right, that's how I feel. Right now I feel like we're due a clean game from the special teams. So I'll jump on the train with you, but I'll go in a different direction. A clean special teams game, no misses, no block punts, no block field goals.
Okay. All right. If that happens, I like our chances.
That's a tough, bold prediction, Tony.
Let's go.
RJ throws over 250. RJ has not thrown any interceptions or had any fumbles. Been clean for 2 weeks. Officially. Now, you stat and film watchers, you can choose to go other ways. I'm just saying officially, RJ has been clean for 2 games.
Yeah.
I know how that upsets some folk.
We're gonna see 2 quarterbacks too. I believe that.
Regardless. You said 3.
No. Well, who knows? It depends, but 2. I think after this game, we better not have any doubts. And predictions? We ready for predictions?
Yep, let's run them down. Predictions.
Okay. I'm going with the good guys. And I'm not going to get too crazy. I'm going to say 28-20 FAMU.
All right, 28-20 FAMU. Marcus?
That was very close to what I was gonna say because I think we'll get 28. I was gonna go 28-21. Not real creative. I don't want it to be close. 1 touchdown as close as I wanted to get.
Little baby, unless you are breaking some news, I don't see that happening. I don't know. All right, my bold prediction already on record. I'll go final score. FAMU 31, Albany State 21. 31-21, Albany State.
So all of us feel, sounds but all of us feel that we're not predicted anyway for the hold them under 20 points.
Yeah. I'm giving respect to
me too.
What they have shown.
Yeah.
Over 2 weeks.
Yep.
You know.
Well, we sure need to get off to a fast start if it plays out that way. Like Marcus said, we haven't got off to a fast start yet this season. We need it at home.
We do. Care to put an attendance wager together, plus or minus 18,000 for the home opener?
I think you're really close, depending on the Albany State contingent, right? We can count on them for about 2,000 probably, if they bring as many as, because they feeling good. Some of them, I'm sure, think they're capable of winning. And then the dynamics you said with the 2 schools, even Coach McKinley, who was on the staff the last 2 years at Albany State, he's back home on our staff. So it's a lot of ties. They have a lot of Florida kids. They have a lot of Tallahassee kids on that team, right? 2 of them Tallahassee Lincoln School from last year. So yeah, I think it's going to be a nice crowd. Absolutely.
All right. Well, again, we got to thank our guests tonight, Marvin Green Jr., Coach Brittany Beall, and Dr. Coach Darlene Moore for joining us on the show tonight. A lot of opportunities to donate and be a part of the FAMU athletic experience upcoming, from the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame to our support of the softball program. Media ways, hopefully you saw all those links in the chat. If not, scroll back through. If you're watching us on replay, hopefully I know the YouTube replay will show the chat. We'll get into retweeting some of that on our Twitter feed and Instagram. Make sure you're following at ONG StrikeZone on all of those pages. And go hit the thumbs up and the like button. Share the show with the family. I don't know, what's the weather supposed to be like this weekend, Kelvin?
The weather been great so far, so hopefully it'll be perfect weather. Let me just hold on. I'll tell you 1 second.
Yeah, that'll be a key because I thought the last couple of years we may have some.
No, it's supposed to be great.
All right.
Supposed to be great. Yeah.
All right.
No chance of rain.
All right.
Oh wow, no chance.
High of 87.
Woo! Beautiful sky over the horizon of Tallahassee.
And it's a night game, so we'll get to see the lights, the light show. Hopefully, we'll score and get some orange and green lights going. The lowest is 67. Beautiful football fall weather for Florida.
Still summer though, Kelvin. It's still summer.
Yeah, no, I like this. I don't want no. I'm glad we ain't had no 90s, no 100s. It's been beautiful weather, and it's gonna be a beautiful Saturday.
All right. Well, Kelvin and I, we look forward to seeing you in Tallahassee. You know where to find us, over on the west side, over by the press box side, the media side. So come on over, say hey. Of course, make sure you tune in to the Rattlers Sports Network for the audio feed with myself and Al Chester Sr. And, of course, you can watch on the SWAC TV app. SWAC TV is where you can watch the game. Okay? For Marcus Green and Kelvin Rozier, I'm Bryan Fulford. Rattlers, we appreciate you. We thank you for your support. Go download the BCSN Pod Zone where you listen and download podcasts. We'll see you in Tallahassee, where the Rattlers will look to get their first win of the 2025 season.
Let's go! Hey, let's go!
I got to let it run out like that, Marcus. I couldn't pass that up, right? Couldn't pass that up. All right, peace out, y'all.
Thank you.